Alright, in this quick video, I'm going to demonstrate Chine Colle. Essentially, Chine Colle is taking flat objects like paper, and the paper could be like tissue paper, Japanese paper, wrapping paper. It could be light or thin fabrics like cheesecloth, sheer, doilies, lace, and essentially you're going to use a glue of your choice, or the options that will be provided. And again, this video is kind of more geared towards my college course, and then adhering them using the pressure of the press to the print paper, and then somehow using those elements to work cohesively with the imagery that you're producing. You can kind of think of these elements as a means of collage, also another means of adding color to the surface, and then because of the effect, these elements can be any shape you want. You can be very precise in cutting them out, or it could be just torn. So, it could be everything from very well thought out to haphazard. All right, so let's get to it. So I'm going to bring your attention over here. So on this table here, I have three Chine Colle elements. I have a tissue paper here. It's just a color red. It's got wrinkles in it, and it's also got this edge that's been torn. I have kind of a stylized cutout of another one, and then I have a ripped off piece of wrapping paper. Okay, so these two are essentially the same in nature, just different colors or shapes, and then this one is more of a, per se, a manufactured look. I generally use the 3M77 adhesive. In the class, we'll probably be using like PVA glue or weak glue, but we can always use this in the spray booth and stuff. I recommend not to spray this indoors. I'm going to do it really quick. Otherwise, I would normally do it outside on a table. So this is a bad habit, but just don't do what I'm showing. Doesn't take much, just a little spray like that. And then I'm going to bring you over to the press bed. The reason for not spraying the glue inside is it has quite a smell to it. And then you'll notice, like, if you're sleeveless, if you do it a lot, your mansulation or leg hair will start to feel sticky. So it sort of permeates the air. All right, here I have my plate and I have my printing paper. Now, in a previous video, I did the matte gel medium / polyurethane transfer. Go back and watch that video in the transfer video, and that will make sense. I'm just going to integrate these objects or these elements into this print. So, on the press bed, you're going to take these elements. I'll bring them over, so just stay there. So here I have this one element. And if you want, you could have a registration guide as to like where this is at, where that's at. You could slip it underneath the acrylic sheet, and then you can kind of see where everything's at or where it needs to go. I'm kind of just doing this with, per se, a haphazard. So this element and this element have been sprayed already. And I just showed spraying the wrapping paper. Here's the wrapping paper. And just to kind of see if this would fit. Yeah. Okay, so my elements are laid out. The glue side is up. So the print paper comes down on top of my elements. Just give it a little smooth over. Put it into the press. Butt your plate up against it. And then you're going to want to also put packing paper over this. So I got my packing paper right here. Then the blankets, and then you're going to run it through the press. Well, I'll run it for you. Again, you don't have to do this twice. I'm just bringing it back so we can look at it, assess it. So between the glue and then the pressure of the press, that's what's going to adhere these elements uniformly to your print paper. Okay, so here's the outcome. So you can see that in this approach, for instance, let me bring the camera a hint closer. Like you can see the white of this tissue paper is slightly a different, or per se a darker white than the print paper. Interesting. So you could, maybe use that to your advantage or disadvantage. And then these elements, and then when you look at it, you can kind of feel a ridge, but it's barely there. So it really embeds it into this surface. You can have elements go over other elements, so that right here, this goes over this face card element. And then how it, some of these elements in terms of like, one of the processes we'll be talking about is color. So this is another means of also gaining colors using Chine Colle elements, so that your elements have different colors, whether it's multiple colors or just a single one, or perhaps even on this particular element, it has kind of a hologram shiny thing. I don't know if you can kind of see that the camera's picking it up. So it's like, ooh, that's really, it's got some bling. So depending on what you're looking for, and if you want sort of this kind of attitude for your prints, you'll find that if you're really enticed by the art of collage, you'll find that this particular technique will really bring something to your prints. And I think that, if that's your comfort zone, you'll really enjoy this particular technique. All right, so that is Chine Colle. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.